Hey, what's up gamers? It's K-Wing here, bringing you yet another review. Sorry about not jumping in at the introduction, but I just love watching this opening introduction to Donkey Kong Country. As you may have guessed, today's review is the classic Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, released in 1994 here in the States, and this game is also available on the Wii Virtual Console. Well, let's get review number 65 started out right, Donkey Kong Country. It's time to hop into the story for this game. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong discover that the secret banana hoard has been stolen. Can Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong defeat King K. Rool and get the banana hoard back? Well, you'll have to play the game to find out, won't you? Concept for this game. During the first opening stage in the game, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong discover that their giant banana stash has been stolen. It's then the player's job to guide both Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong throughout Congo Land. Now, you would be surprised just how big Congo Land really is, although in this game, it's called Donkey Kong Island instead of Congo Land, but we'll call it DK Island for short. Now, you'll venture throughout the island, traveling through the jungles, oceans, lakes, and mines, caves, temples, forests, and even snow-covered mountains, ice caverns, and a whole lot more. When starting the game, you have 3 different ways to play: single player, 2-player contest, and 2-player co-op. Now the whole point of the game is after you complete a zone, you face a boss. The reason why you do this is when you fight this boss, you reclaim some of your lost bananas that were stolen from you. So you do that up until you meet the guy who stole all the bananas, King K. Rool. So the whole point of the game is you travel through the game, you fight the bosses, and then you fight King K. Rool to get all the bananas back, and that's how you beat the game. Alright, time for the controls for this game. You move your Kong with the command cross or gamepad in the direction you wish your Kong to travel, and you attack by pressing the Y button. You can also pick up objects using the Y button as well. The B button is used to jump, and when jumping on a tire or another obstacle, holding in the button actually makes you jump higher. Now, in order to switch your character, which is important in this game, you simply press the A button. And what's unique about Donkey Kong is he has a down attack, which is mainly used for getting bananas and hidden obstacles. And all you do that is you press down and Y, and he does kind of like a ground pound. And that pretty much does it for the gameplay. It's smooth, and it's so wonderfully well done, and the controls are great. I have no issues with the gameplay. When you're underwater, there's really no difference, except that the B button is used to swim, and that's basically it. You use the A button to still switch your Kongs, but the controls, again, they're very well tuned and they're fun. When you're actually on your animal buddies, such as like Rambi or some of the other animals, to attack with them, all you do is once you're on the animal, you simply press the Y button. And that pretty much does it for the controls. Moving on to the design, Donkey Kong Country is such a beautifully well-designed 3D game, and for its time, this game was absolutely amazing compared to the 2D games that we were playing at that time. But I'll talk more about the 3D elements and the history for the game coming up in the history segment in just a few minutes. Now, I want to talk about the water stages in particular. I thought they were absolutely wonderful. I loved playing them. They were not only fun, but they were absolutely breathtaking to look at. And each of the water stages were completely different than the last one. Like, some of them added ice, some of them had kind of like this poison fog thing for the polluted water level. And I really also like the snow level, where the snow starts lightly falling. It was one of my favorite stages. And I also like how the heavier the snowfall gets, the more it pushes your character. I also like the ice caverns too, because of all the reflections of the ice and the sparkling and stuff. It was just a very beautiful stage. A very hard stage, but it was just so well designed and made and stuff like that. I also thought this stage right here was pretty ingenious. The parrot actually lights your path, and all the other enemies are hidden in the dark, and the only way you can see them is with the parrot. And this stage right here, kind of like the stop-go thing, red light, green light, and you see how the stage actually is red for a part and then it's green, and it's just such a fun stage to play. This stage right here, everything goes pitch black and it lights up just briefly to show you where you're going. It's such a very, very cool stage. This stage was actually kind of ingenious too, because you had to refill your fuel meter, and I especially like how in this game the Kongs and the enemies and even the bosses in this game, they're all unique and they all look absolutely spectacular. I absolutely love that about this game. This game is so well designed, it's so beautiful, and it's an awesome early 3D game. History for this game. Donkey Kong Country was revolutionary because it was one of the first games to use pre-rendered 3D. Later 3D games like Killer Instinct would also use pre-rendered 3D together with fully 3D objects. Rare took significant financial risks in buying this expensive CGI equipment used in Donkey Kong Country. We're going to now look into the Kong's history since it's not consistent over the years, and I'll do my best to explain it. First, we'll start with the original Donkey Kong, Cranky Donkey Kong, or Cranky for short. In the recent Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Nintendo tells us that Donkey Kong is Cranky's grandson. But in Donkey Kong Country in the spin-off series DK King of Swing refers to Cranky as his father. In fact, Cranky Kong calls Donkey Kong his lousy good-for-nothing son in numerous games, including Donkey Kong 64. See what I mean with stuff not being consistent? Cranky did have a son, though. His name was Junior, Donkey Kong Jr. What happened to Junior? Well, years ago, Nintendo said Junior is the current Donkey Kong, although when developing Donkey Kong Country, Rare wanted to change Junior to Diddy Kong, but it didn't fly. Since Diddy's co-creation with Rare and Nintendo, his relationship is not the same and always changes. Diddy first appeared in Donkey Kong Country and starred in his own solo game called Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. Since then, Diddy has been Donkey Kong's sidekick and has appeared in a lot of games. All we know is he is a close relative, but not DK's son, nephew, or anything else for that matter, so stop guessing, people. There is no right answer. Good luck fixing your mess, Big N. Diddy Kong first appeared in the Mario series in Toadstool Tour, and has since been a regular in the Mario Sports franchise. Diddy Kong has also followed Donkey Kong to Smash Bros. Brawl. Now Diddy's moves are a combination from Donkey Kong Country, Diddy's Conquest, as well as Donkey Kong 64 and the King of Swing series. Diddy is a welcomed addition to Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and is quite unique and has a big fan following. Diddy Kong has also recently appeared in Mario Kart Wii. All 3 Donkey Kong Country games are available on the Wii Virtual Console, and I suggest you guys pick them up. They're great games. Alright, moving on to the bad aspect. For some reason, I always hated this stage that you're seeing right now. I don't know why, but my dad and I never really liked this level. Probably because the snow and the wind's blowing you. Not to mention you have the bees flying around the barrels, and it makes it very difficult for you to get into the barrels. So not only is there a rhythm to everything, but you have to avoid being stung. And it's just a level that's really not that fun. It's just very frustrating. Although recently, I have found a stage that I hate more than that one. It's this stage right here, where you have to jump over the bees, and you have to refuel your little pod thing, or conveyor belt thing you're on, and it's just a dumb level, and I really don't like it. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Those are the only things I don't like. Moving on to the good aspect. Lucky for us, this game has so many good qualities, it's not even funny. I really like the water levels. They're so much fun to play, they're very relaxing, and I really enjoyed the minecarts. They're so much fun! Cranky Kong is awesome. The guy insults you the whole game and compares your adventures to his, and teases you the whole time. It's great. I also liked how you could replay any level in the game as many times as you wanted. What great replay value this game offers. Okay, it's time for me to give you guys a tip. To get 99 lives, simply replay the first level over and over and over again. That's it. All the bonuses, bananas, and extra lives will reappear each time you beat the stage. It's the best way for you to accumulate tons of lives for more difficult parts of the game. Donkey Kong Country is an amazing game, and I strongly suggest you guys download it. This game is so much fun and challenging. I love this game. It gets a 10 out of 10.